Ever since the first smartphone was made, companies have been trying to increase the screen-to-body ratio with the goal of making the smartphone look more immersive and more modern. With this goal, they have tried many different ways, and we have seen many different generations of companies trying to do this, including the infinity display, the notch, water drop notch, the pop-up camera. We've seen plenty of pop-up cameras, even though they are disliked for their lack of durability. And we have also seen punch hole cameras. And right now people prefer punch hole cameras because they can give you good camera quality without sacrificing any kind of durability or having other issues. But I would like to welcome you to the future. Yes, I'm talking about the wondrous world of under-display camera smartphones. Now you might have heard a rumor or a concept about this, but did you know that a company actually launched a commercially available smartphone that you can buy right now that has an under-display camera? I'm talking about the ZTE Axon 25G. Now, I mean, it does have an under-display camera, and it is the first ever smartphone in the world to feature an under-display camera. And by the first smartphone in the world to feature this, I mean that the first smartphone that is commercially available to feature this. Because companies have made several concept phones that they did not release, but they made it. So it was done before, but they are the first one to release a fully fledged, commercially available phone. Now, it does have some flaws, and by some flaws I mean
a lot of flaws.
It really seems like they wanted to be first and not good. Let's talk about it. The ZTE Axon 20G features a 32 megapixel front camera, but it does not really perform like any other 32 megapixel camera that you can find on smartphones. So if you take a look at the camera quality, it really is very bad, and which is obvious because the light is passing through the screen. Now, yeah, but we can still appreciate them for being the first one to publish a phone, but it is not really ideal for regular use. So the camera quality is really bad, and the camera can actually be seen from several angles at different lighting angles, which is very, very bad, since the main goal of it is to hide the camera. So it is very annoying if that happens. If you take a look at the portraits, the camera quality drops down to 5 megapixels for some reason, and it looks horrible. I would prefer any kind of notch over this kind of camera quality. Just saying. Okay, so yeah, it was not really good, but they were first, so we can appreciate them for being first. But do you know what is good? This Xiaomi's under-display camera is actually a pretty good camera. This is not available in any of Xiaomi's released phone, and is expected to come in the 2021 Xiaomi Redmi 11 Pro. So they have shown off several iterations of it, and right now the third generation is the latest one. So if you take a look at the first and third generation, you can see that there's a massive increase in the quality of the image. So this first generation kind of looks like ZTE's one, and this is where it's at right now. It's at the third generation, and it looks pretty acceptable. And they also claim that the camera sensor, it takes light through the display subpixel. That means the dots between the RGB lines. So it's supposed to be a perfectly disguised camera, and you cannot see the camera in any angle in any kind of lighting. So I'm really looking forward to this one, especially this Xiaomi's one. So the Xiaomi under-display camera should be a very good and the best one to release in 2021. But Xiaomi is not the only one to make a demo phone to showcase their under-display camera feature, but there is another company that did exactly that, and that is the Vivo Apex 2020. Now, the under-display camera is not the most impressive thing about the phone. I'll tell you why. This phone is a futuristic concept phone. Now, by concept phone, I don't mean that they did not make this phone. They made this phone, but they just did not release it for commercial purposes. You cannot buy it, but they did send it out to some YouTubers to review it. And the reason why it's futuristic is because it has no openings. By no openings, I mean it does not have any charging port, it does not have any headphone jack, even the buttons are not physical. It does not feature a physical home or volume button. It has virtual buttons on the sides, and the whole thing is like a solid piece of glass and steel. So obviously, I think it might be the first phone that you can call waterproof, because every other phone is water resistant, but this phone has no openings, so water can't even get inside. So it could be the first ever waterproof phone, and it looks really futuristic if you just look at it. It does not have any openings. The full front part is just display, nothing else, no bevels, and even there is display on the sides. It is. I also said that there is no charging port. It only charges by wireless charger, and it has a wireless charger of 60 watts. How cool is that? That is higher than most wired chargers. And it's an amazing concept phone. They made it, it's possible. Now it's just left to improve it and then release it to the general public. But I still think that in terms of the under-display camera, Xiaomi will still win, because they have been working on it for quite a while now, and they have released several different generations of it and stuff, and they have worked on it for a good amount of time, and they have put a lot of effort in it. So I really expect the Xiaomi's one to be amazing. Now, the brand Oppo has also mentioned that under-display camera is a solution to removing the bevels and edges of the phone, making it look more modern. But they did not release or show any demo phone or any kind of technology that's showcasing that you can capture photos through the pixels. You know, I really expect a lot from the Xiaomi's one. The ZTE did release it, and we can appreciate them for releasing it as the first ever smartphone with an under-display camera. But Xiaomi's one will be much better, and when Vivo releases their Apex 2020, if it holds up to the expectations, it will be amazing. Now, what are the advantages of an under-display camera? The advantages are obvious. I feel like I don't even need to say it. You obviously get a more immersive experience with no distractions in the display. You get more screen size, and also the durability concern that comes with sliders or pop-up cameras is gone. There are no moving parts, which is amazing for the durability, and it makes the phone look more sleek and modern. It's obvious. Now let's come to the disadvantages. What are the disadvantages of a under-display camera? So when talking about the disadvantages, I would like to say that we are going to improve on this technology. This is just the beginning of under-display cameras, so a lot of these will be gone. One of the disadvantages is that you can see the camera in some cases in certain angles and lighting positions. You can either see it's pixelated or dark in the area, but Xiaomi did claim that their camera is perfectly hidden under the display. So whatever, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and keep slaying!